In 1985, a Canadian author named Margaret Atwood published one of her most critically acclaimed novels, The Handmaid's Tale. As you all know, the story follows Offred, a handmaid under the Republic of Gilead.
Gilead is a newly formed totalitarian regime which replaces the United States government. Due to low birth rates, it thus reverts back to biblical times.
Handmaids are fertile women who are assigned to a commander to conceive a child.
5 years later, a film by the same title was released, directed by Volker Schlondorff and starring Natasha Richardson as Offred, Robert Duvall as the commander, and Faye Dunaway as Serena Joy.
In a 2003 New York Times interview, Atwood claimed that her novel is a study of power and how it operates and deforms or shapes the people who are living within that kind of regime. However, the film does not effectively portray Atwood's message due to lack of ambiguity and the power given to the originally oppressed characters.
Okay,
We're all tired.
Okay, here we go. Hold tight.
Sit now. Hold on tight.
Like that.
This is Border Patrol. This is Border Patrol. You are approaching the border of the Republic of Gilead. You're not allowed any closer. Turn back. This is Border Patrol. This is Border Patrol. You are approaching the border.
At the very start of the film, Offred's husband, Luke, is shot by the secret police, annulling Atwood's message.
Border Patrol. You are approaching the border of the Republic of Gilead.
I'll keep it busy!
Not allowed any closer.
In one part of the novel, Offred imagines 3 scenarios of Luke's fate, including that he's dead, in jail, or escaped. She ends by saying that his unknown whereabouts are the only things that give her hope. In one of Offred's flashbacks, she remembers her mom noting that when a government gives a little freedom, it would be surprising at what the citizens would endure. This further demonstrates how ambiguity is essential because it changes her whole behavior from being slightly satirical and submissive to strong and bold.
This is a scene where Offred and Maura meet for the first time. Unlike the novel, the two have had no prior friendship.
What'd you do? How'd they get you? I tried to cross the border. What's your name? Kate.
Contrary to the novel, Offred's name is revealed, and in this case, it's Kate. However, Atwood intentionally hides her real name in the novel in order to show how the oppressive regime strips her identity and makes her as a possession. The writers may have given Offred the name Kate in order to avoid confusion, but they also destroyed Atwood's concept that under tyrannical systems, the identities of individuals are disregarded.
The ending, with Offred pregnant, takes away from the book's ambiguity. With closure, it doesn't leave the book open for interpretation. It kills the book's greatest asset, a way for the audience to think about the story after it's over.
But I'm safe here in the mountains, held by the rebels. They bring me food, and sometimes a message from Nick. And so I wait. I wait for my baby to be born into a different world.
Atwood once said, "Knowing too much about other people puts you in their power. They have a claim on you. You are forced to understand their reasons for doing things, and then you are weakened." This is exactly why Atwood made her book ambiguous. She doesn't want anyone to sympathize with the regime.
about them telling her I don't exist, or that I never existed. But I know we're going to find her. She will remember me.
In this scene, Moore is planning her escape.
And Lydia? There's a toilet overflowing in the John.
As you can see, Alfred is helping Moore capture Aunt Lydia and tie her up. Opposed to the novel's attempt at making Alfred a powerless figure, this particular scene actually gives Alfred power by making her rebellious, whereas in the novel, she's more submissive.
I like your panties, sweetie.
Not only is Alfred more courageous, but she's never punished for helping with Mora's scheme. This makes Gilead seem weaker and less powerful than how Atwood envisioned it.
Are you off, Glenn?
Yes, I'm meeting Offred. Who are you?
I'm Offred.
Oh, I see. Blessed be the fruit. I have oranges today.
They didn't give me any tokens for that.
The war interferes with fruit and vegetables from California. Even Florida isn't dependable anymore.
Quiet.
The rebels have blown up some of the highways.
Offglen is talking even after she was told not to and is clearly rebelling against one of Gilead's laws. In the novel, Offred and Offglen are restricted to secrecy when talking. They resort to looking through glass windows to see each other's faces and keeping their heads down on walks.
Thank you.
But in the movie, they interact freely with full eye contact. In effect, this destroys Atwood's vision of a totalitarian government because they have the power to talk freely, which can potentially lead to ideas of rebellion.
Many of us. Watch your commander, study him, get to know everything about him. Okay?
Even though she has displayed many forms of rebellious behavior throughout the film, the most prominent change that undermines Atwood's purpose is when Alfred kills the commander. The scene we're about to show you is a little graphic, so if you prefer not to see it, turn your head away by the next 30 seconds.
What is it? I could have fired this thing. I didn't send for you. What is it?
You've got to help me.
I'm sorry. It's out of my hands.
Did you tell her?
Well, she found this. So what could I do? She gave me hell. She gave me all kinds of grief. It's unfortunate, the whole thing. It really is. I'm sorry. Very, very sorry. You better go to your room now.
Yeah. You have a lot of things on your mind.
You kept me going. Just the thought of you coming here at night, caring for me, fixing my drink, being by my side. I mean, it kept me going. And I thank you for that. And I'll never forget it.
This scene gives Offred power because she murders one of Gilead's authoritative figures. She fights back against the regime, whereas in the novel, she is more compliant to its enforcement.
Both the film and the novel address totalitarian governments that use religion to place their values and beliefs on the masses. However, the film fails by giving away too many details. Not only does this create little room for analyzation, but it defeats Atwood's greatest message about the dangers of an overpowering regime.
It's reasonable for films to modify certain details for the sake of time limits, production costs, or even for entertainment. And it's also reasonable for them not to emulate books in their complete and absolute entirities. But it's extremely essential that movies display the most critical components of original works and stay true to the author's messages.